Coming up next on Headline Humboldt, we take a look at the deal struck by the California Faculty Association with the state university system after a one-day strike held late in January. Members will vote soon on whether to approve those terms. Also, Humboldt-Del Norte Film Commissioner Cassandra Hesseltine joins us to talk about her work and how the Paul Thomas Anderson film that recently took over parts of Eureka will ultimately impact our community. Coming up now on Headline Humboldt. From the top of Humboldt Hill, this is Headline Humboldt. I'm James Falk. Thanks for joining us. Humboldt and Del Norte counties have a cinematic history that can be charted in a long list of well-known films. Return of the Jedi, those speeder chases through the redwood forests that so thrilled audiences back in the 1980s. I know because I was one of them. That was here. Or Jurassic Park, The Lost World, that archetypal and ancient forest where the dinosaurs seemed so comfortable and so ferocious all at the same time. Fern Canyon, Outbreak, and The Majestic in Ferndale. One of my personal favorites was Daniel Radcliffe's Swiss Army Man, a ridiculous and hilarious romp that featured local beaches and forests and included enough flatulent humor to keep me chuckling for months. There's been a bunch more, some that I remember and many that I don't, hailing from back before World War II and continuing right up until just this past week, when prominent director and auteur Paul Thomas Anderson had a massive crew and several A-list actors in town to shoot various scenes for his newest production, a feature film with the industry code name of BC Project. While the story remains a trade secret, in a few moments we'll talk with our regional film commissioner, Cassandra Hesseltine, about the process, the revenue generated, and how such films help position us for more Hollywood attention in the future. Having been locked out of my neighborhood supermarket, Murphy's in Cutton, for an afternoon, we'll also talk about why those temporary inconveniences are absolutely worth it in the long run. But first, the news. On Tuesday and Wednesday, the Yurok tribe held the first ever tribal offshore wind summit. More than 350 people attended the summit, including tribal leaders from California to Connecticut. The summit comes as the Humboldt Bay Harbor Recreation and Conservation District was recently allocated more than $426 million to begin developing wind power manufacturing facilities on the Samoa Peninsula. The tribe is calling on federal, state, and local governments to break what it calls the cycle of extraction and dispossession of tribal lands and resources. Yurok Tribal Chairman Joseph James addressed the crowd during a press conference. Quote, "The ocean is unceded territory. Yurok has the inherent responsibility and obligation to restore balance," he said. "The ocean is the last pristine sacred place left. Protecting the ocean, tribal sacred lands, our places, and the lives and culture of indigenous people is the most important priority." James said there is a great risk of harm from these projects, adding that tribes cannot be expected to trust regulators and developers to prevent such consequences or stop development if such harm occurs. Quote, "We are calling on federal and state decision makers to recognize the inherent authority of tribes to regulate their ancestral offshore waters and lands, including permitting and regulating any offshore wind development that may occur within tribal ancestral lands, and to commit to, in partnership with tribes, establishing a legal framework which recognizes co-equal decision-making authority." For more information, visit yuroktribe.org. The long-simmering labor struggle between the California Faculty Association and the California State University system is on hiatus at the moment because as union membership considered the terms agreed to by their leadership. The tentative agreement was reached after a one-day strike was held at campuses up and down the state, including Cal Poly Humboldt. The union is now in the process of holding a series of meetings to educate its membership on what this deal means. The deal includes a 5% general salary increase for all faculty retroactive to July 1st, and the raising of the salary floor for lowest paid members of the faculty, including also an increase in parental leave allotments from 6 to 10 weeks, among other provisions. If union members vote no, they'll return to the deal that the CSU system had previously imposed upon them after negotiations had first broken down. Joining us now in studio is Cassandra Hesseltine, the Humboldt-Del Norte Film Commissioner. She's been very busy these last few weeks. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, I mean, we've all kind of borne witness to what's been going on here the last couple of weeks, and I wanted to bring you onto the show to talk a little bit about, I mean, what good these things do for our community, because I know it's a massive benefit economically for a ton of reasons, but I thought maybe we could go through some of those. And then also how you go about the process of attracting people to Humboldt County to film and what that might look like. So do you want to Talk about that stuff?
Sure, yeah, that's the stuff I can talk about.
That's great. Yes, just so folks at home, we can't really talk about the story because why can't we talk about the story?
Well, first of all, that's their intellectual property.
Sure.
That's their right, there's the artist process, like for instance, I'm directing a play right now. We share only what we want to share, what pictures and information about the play, and we want people to come and see it and see what we've created artistically. So it's the same thing, if you're going to translate that to a movie, people often ask us, why is secrecy? And there's a couple different reasons. One is that intellectual property, that artist process. Sometimes they want to reveal something later down the road that they really just don't want you to see now. I mean, so there's a whole bunch of different reasons. Sometimes there's actually a safety reason. People don't always realize and understand that crowd control, making sure that everyone is safely being able to get to where they are. The film is already an inconvenience sometimes, right? And then you want to make sure that they're less of an inconvenience and footprint. If you have a big crowd coming, then they can't control that. So there's a whole bunch of different reasons why they are secret, secretive, as people put it. But usually it's not for anything.
Yeah, there's no nefarious motive behind it. No, I don't know what there would be, but people sometimes think such things.
Well, we all try to, answer questions that we don't have the answers to.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So tell us about how this kind of project first comes to be. I mean, like these people reached out, I assume, to you to say, we're looking for a spot to shoot. What can you give us that would meet our demands? Is that right?
Yeah, usually it is, they've heard about the area. I mean, most people know about the redwoods,
sure.
But you'd be surprised. I did go to a trade show in Europe, and a lot of people really didn't know where it was, what it looked like, and what we had to offer. So that was really interesting. But, in the States, a lot of people know about our area, and in the film, industry, they've probably traveled here as a kid. I've gotten that a lot from a lot of location managers that say, I went through that and I remember those trees and how epic they were. And so they get handed a script. If it's a feature film, a narrative, they get handed a script. Sometimes, it's a car commercial or whatever. They get a storyboard. Yeah. They get told something that, hey, we need redwoods, or we need trees. We need some type of epic trees.
Yeah.
And then they think of us.
Yeah, most epic. These are the most epic trees.
Yeah, or they were at, a trade show where they saw us and they've met us, or they've seen some type of advertisement for us. So there's many ways where we try to educate them along the way, so that when it does cross in front of them, that they're able to go, oh, I know where to go, or at least look at and see if we could do a scouting trip to show the director and show, the team. So in April of 2019, they reached out. So I've been on this project almost 5 full years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was that long in development.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's been crazy. And they reached out and said, hey, we're interested in the area. We've been coming through, and we were thinking that possibly, that we would be filming there. In that time frame, obviously a whole bunch of things happened, including
COVID,
a pandemic. We're still alive on the other side of it now.
Yeah.
And so the past year and a half really more is where we pick back up where we left off, and we're able to work on what their needs were for the film. So yeah, it's been a long time.
Now, I'm interested, to make it generic so that we're not talking about this particular project, but in general, if a crew's coming up here to shoot a movie and they have a particular thing that they're drawn here for, say, like you said, the epic redwoods or whatever, is it part of your job or their job to say, where else can we film here that would minimize our trips and make it more efficient? So like I noticed for example they used Babe's Pizza in this shoot, and I was like, that's interesting because it's not the most dramatic looking building, and maybe you could have found something somewhere else, but because they're here, maybe that made more sense to shoot here. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, because some people did question why did they even change Babe's Pizza to, has, signs that it's like a Mexican store instead, and what was that about, and why didn't they just go find something else that matched what they needed? And sometimes there's a lot that they have to take in consideration,
sure.
So maybe it's not just that one location. Clearly they needed a grocery store. I think it's no secret that they were at the grocery store. They also viewed that way, and then they also utilized the street. So it was all of that, that whole look, and yes, they were here for other things as well, so it makes sense that you would be efficient and find out what matches your script and what your other needs are. And we've had that happen with Wrinkle in Time. They came here for one thing. They came here for a big bowl, which they ended up filming in New Zealand. And then but while they were here, I said, well, what else do you need? And she gave me a list of items. And we said, I think we've got that. And we showed them to them, and sure enough, they came and filmed something else entirely.
Yeah.
So, and yes, they try to find as many things that they can that help them be efficient with their time and their spending so that they can make the project that they're making.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the economic impact, which is absolutely huge. I mean, you may not even be able to fully, encapsulate that being on the outside of it. But I mean, like they were advertising on Craigslist and other places for grips and for extras and whatnot. And some of the advertisements, from what I heard, I didn't see it myself, but they were offering like $400 a day for some work. And that's massive around here. Not a lot of people are making $400 a day for, and granted, it's not in perpetuity, and these people aren't union members, and it's not, it doesn't go on for long, but it's a huge shot in the arm. Do you have any sense of how much money they may have brought in, or what the ultimate contribution to Humboldt County's economy this may represent?
It's hard to tell. I mean, we've had other productions that film, this was about 11 days that they filmed, but again, they've been here coming for years. So,
yeah.
All the scout trips, every time they come, they stay in hotels and they eat in restaurants. And so there's numerous times where they came and they spent money in the area, as well as then you've got the months of prepping, you've got the actual filming, and then you've got them wrapping out. They're technically still here. There are individuals that are still leaving. And indie feature films that maybe had that same schedule are going to spend a less dollar amount than a studio feature film. So if I had to guess, my guess, is going to be, at least $1 million-ish.
Yeah.
When Wrinkle in Time was here for their 5 days, they did, I think over 600,000, if I remember correctly. Bird Box did $1 million, close to $1 million between Humboldt and Del Norte County for almost the same amount of time of filming up in Del Norte County in January as well. So it really will depend on, some of the, not only where did they stay and how many crews and vendors that they hired, but the locations and what they had to do for those locations and some of those details. So I'm excited to see the numbers. I think they'll be pretty decent, especially for January.
Yeah.
This is off season. This is the low point for a restaurant and or hotels and most people.
Absolutely, yeah.
Comes right after the holidays. It's that winter month, and we usually do not have any other type of tourism that's here during that time. Absolutely. So $1 million in July is a different $1 million than it is in January.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
So I think that's the exciting part. And for every dollar that they spend, it really translates to $2.95. So if they do spend $1 million here, it translates to $2.95 million.
Why?
Because the direct dollars, that first $1 million, only really is counting the actual local vendors, the local crew, the location spending, all of the hotels, anything like that has to deal with the filming from start to finish. It doesn't have, when they're done filming for the day though, 150, 200 people go out to dinner.
Sure.
Or they go buy groceries, or they go put, gas in their car, or whatever, or they have a day or two off, and so it doesn't count for any of that.
Yeah.
And then it also doesn't count for the money circulating within the economy 3 times before it leaves. Now remember, these are outside dollars, so this is not money that
would already be here.
Would already be here and then
exactly.
circulate.
Yeah.
This is outside dollars that comes in and does that, and then there's the indirect spending, and then it circulates as well before it leaves. So it really feels like basically for every dollar they spend, it's almost $3.
Now, I mean, that's the immediate impact, but I mean, I think that there is a long-term sort of accretion that happens where you have all these industry people coming up here to stay. They're all working, and they get to see some of the best parts of our county. They go back, they're still working. They always have this area in their mind for whatever it offered on this particular film. Can you talk a little bit about the value of having productions like this in Humboldt County and what it represents for us downstream?
Yeah, definitely, like you said, for them to be able to come here, see it, experience it, work with the locals and individuals. I mean, we've gotten so much praise from the production that was just here. They absolutely loved working here. They said, wow, it would be much harder in other areas, that people were so receptive and helpful, and they had a lot of gratitude for that, and that will only definitely bring in more production. We've had a lot of repeat customers.
Yeah.
We've had people who've referred us to other, groups. That has been amazing, over the past couple of years. We've really kind of seen all the hard work we put in, 5-10 years ago is now coming back. And it's been really lovely. Jason Kravarski, he worked on An Evening with Beverly Loughlin as well as Swiss Army Man. He's been here twice now. So he came first for Swiss Army Man, which the Daniels, you know,
Yeah,
who just took Best Picture and Director and all of that last year at the Academy. That was their first movie, as you mentioned earlier. That you know, and I have stories about that movie.
I bet you do.
And then when he went on to work on An Evening with Beverly Loughlin with Craig Robinson, he's like, oh, I know where there's a Tudor hotel, and I've worked in that town, and they were great to work with. So that does help us down the road.
Sure.
But even something as simple as having a fam tour, a familiarity tour, where we can show location managers what we have to offer for a weekend, you know, be able to show them locations, show them restaurants, show them hotels, show them all the things that they would need to make something happen. That's been incredibly helpful as well.
So you've done that several times then?
We've done that twice now in the past 13 years. Headwaters Foundation, you know, definitely helped us with that,
That's
you know, the
cool,
Headwaters Fund. So we were able to get 2 grants both times that helped us throw those fam tours. And both times we've had production come out of throwing those, as well as just when they come here and they see it for themselves, they continue to submit us, whether we actually end up with that production or not. It's just the fact that we know now that it puts us in their brain for every time they can think of a project that might be a good match, they submit us.
Yeah, I mean, and we're also still in California. We're not that far away. What would you say is the #1 selling point for us? I mean, like, when I look out from the outside in, I'm thinking, well, there's architecture, there's the redwoods, and there's the ocean. Are those 3 the big selling tickets, or what would you say draws these production crews up here?
I would say small town USA, the redwoods, the oceans. There's probably a 4th. I kind of always, you know, people say top 3, and I'm like, we're like 4. Because we also have roads. You know, we have epic roads. And we have different roads. And we have the ability, maybe 5, we have the ability to be a lot of different locations. Like we've dubbed as Scotland, we've been, you know, the Midwest, you know, so it really kind of depends on how you frame it and where you go. Humboldt County is the size of Rhode Island. Okay, we're pretty big.
Totally.
And we represent Del Norte as well. So we've got 2 counties. I think, you know, thank you, California, for bringing tax incentive and beefing up the film tax incentive, because that has helped as well. You get more points the farther north you go, and the longer that they're here and the more people they hire. So the tax incentive has really helped us as well.
Well, how does that work how does that work to our benefit, if you don't mind?
Because if somebody wants to make a movie in California, which, you know, we're all about in the past, you know, 8 to 10 years, bringing runaway productions back to California.
Because we were losing some, right? There was some going to California,
not just some,
Canada, and
everybody now. Every country, every state, major cities have tax incentive programs. So at first they were running away to Georgia, Canada, you know, New York, but then it became everyone. You know, Jordan has one, everybody has one, you know. So we didn't have ones that competed. And so we finally were able to bring that back, and I feel really honored to be part of. I was president of the film commissioners at that time of FLICS, Film Liaisons to California statewide, and we helped lobby to bring the tax incentive and boost the tax incentive program for California. So productions started coming back. There were people who had never made a movie in California, but they lived in LA, and they were always going on location somewhere else. So part of the program, when they rebooted it, the 2.0 and the 3.0, they rebooted it to make it that if you're outside in the Hollywood zone and the farther you were, you got more points. Well, we're the farthest, you know, besides Shasta, we're the farthest. So it has been a benefit to us that not only do we have all these looks and all these reasons why you would come here, but you're more likely to get the California tax incentive.
So if you're in Hollywood, you're paid, or you get a bigger break if you go farthest north you can go in California.
You get more points to your application, and the ones that have the highest points are the ones that are going to be accepted into the program for that piece of the pie that they're going after.
Excellent. It's been a fascinating thing to watch how, like, we've grown over the years. I mean, is that though just my impression, or are we getting more productions? I mean, where does that stand in terms of historic?
It's the type of productions. We've been roughly 20 to 25, depending on the year, of average of production between the region. It's more of the type. For a long time, we were commercials. We were car commercials.
Car commercials, I remember
we had
hearing that,
maybe one major film every 5 to 10 years, maybe one indie feature film every 2 years, something like that. And now it seems pretty often every year we have 1 to 2 indies and a major 1 to 2 years. So the narratives are becoming more frequent and more often, I would say. That part is true. And ironically, a little less car commercials. So we're still about 20-25 productions, but it's what type is coming. I think people are noticing that. That's what it is.
I mean, if the longer productions typically would bring more money, right?
Correct. I mean, though an amazing big car commercial for 2 days could spend $100,000, which is amazing to me, but that is the case. But yes, if it's a feature film and they're going to be here longer, even if it's 5-10 days, it could get in the millions. it's great when they do an entire feature film. Now, we haven't had a studio entire feature film in a long time.
Yeah.
Mostly usually that's an indie feature film.
Yeah.
So even though they might be here filming for 20, 25 days, the amount isn't going to be the same as the studio.
Because the studio often will co-locate with down south because they have the studio facilities, or why?
Yeah, no, they just have, a bigger budget.
Yeah.
Studio feature films have bigger budgets than indies usually, yeah. Even if the indie is going to be later distributed by a studio.
Yeah. Now, I mean, one of the things that I've heard over the grapevine and, the trade press and everything else is that there has been some bit of a box office squeeze, although that's gotten a little bit better post-COVID. Do you find that that's affected the amount of inquiries you're getting, or has it stayed pretty steady given,
Yeah, we kind of thought that there was going to be a little bit of a leap after the pandemic just because of the way that, all of a sudden there became all these platforms of where you could start watching things, right? It used to be you had cable, you had regular television, or you went to the movies. Well, all of a sudden Amazon, Netflix, all of these different ones, Disney had their own. So they were all creating their own content, and people were watching everything during the pandemic. So we thought that there was going to be this huge, amount of work when the dust settled. It wasn't quite like that, which was a little bit of a surprise for us. But I think now, maybe we just needed to wait. It wasn't the immediate dust settled, but now that things seem like they're back to a new normal, right?
Yeah.
It feels like there's been plenty of production now that we're back at it. Yeah. So I don't feel like that we aren't getting enough production up here.
Yeah, no, I think it sounds like the wheels are falling off a little bit. We're doing great, not in a bad way, but we're doing good. Now, I would, for people who might not know how local government works or that kind of thing, can you explain briefly what a film commissioner is, and then what makes a good film commissioner? Like, I have this picture in my mind of, in a nice car, your cell phone out, latte in one hand, and then you're putting people on hold and joining on the other phone. Tell me what it's like.
You just described me. No, I don't know about my car anymore. I mean, a paid job. But so a liaison, a film commissioner is a liaison between the production and the area they represent. And there's ones all over the world. I'm in an international group, Association of Film Commissioners International, and I've met so many of them from around the world at the different events. So there's one in Iceland, there's a couple of regional ones for Norway, and then all the states have one. And California and Florida, I think, are probably the two that have the most regional or county ones. And then you have some states just have like one film commissioner and maybe a couple liaisons in like city clerk's office type thing.
Yeah.
And what they do is they help market to the film world what you have to offer, which is locations, right? It starts with that. And then crew and vendors and anything else. And then you are the boots on the ground, because when they arrive, more than likely they don't know the area, or the area has changed since the last time they were there.
Yeah.
And so you were there to help them with all of the details of how to find this, how to find that, how to do this. And
so you're on set. And you are...
I was on set a couple times this week. I'm not always on set. It's a lot of pre-production. It's the prepping.
Sure, yeah.
It's the scouting ahead of time. It's the constant, hold please. And on, I've got two phones and a landline and a Zoom call going, and my deputy director who's here, in the studio with us, is like answering something for me all the time, and could not do it without Anival. So you've got all of that going on. Usually it's all the prep work. And then you wait during filming. That's the, sometimes you're on set, especially certain days, and other times, it's not necessary. And you just kind of go, okay, am I going to get a phone call? What fires do I have to put out today?
Well, that's an emergency. You got to run out and figure out whatever's preventing shooting, or if there's any issues, you got to be the one to solve it.
Whatever it is. My goal is always to have a win-win situation, right?
Sure, yeah.
You're going to have legitimate complaints on both sides. You're going to have a lot of maybe misunderstandings. Thank goodness I'm a trained mediator and have a psych degree, so that's where that part comes in. And it is to help listen to everybody and kind of go, okay, we know that we have a depressed economy here. We know that we've had a lot of ups and downs, and outside dollars that come in here and boost our economy and give temporary jobs is really important. Not only important for us financially, but for our mental health.
Yeah.
And it gives us, we all get excited by it. Not all, but most people get excited by it.
Yeah.
They feel, a sense of ownership by having these productions here. And so, my job is to help with that, as well as the productions be happy when they come, so that there's this, synergy that, they find us film friendly, we find them respectful, and pulling all of that together. So, and then when they leave, we focus on film tourism, and sometimes that brings in more dollars than the original filming. And so we've done things like we created a museum, which is now open on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's a little mini museum in front of our offices. And it's called Museum of Cinema.
What's the address there so people can check it out?
That is 235 F Street in Eureka, Old Town.
Okay, cool.
And if we're not open, or even if sometimes if we're locked, people have knocked, we've let them in if we can. Otherwise, you can make an appointment with us. We hope to someday be open, big hours. As we get more funding, we'll be open more hours. And we also have created Forest Moon Festival, which is, our nod to being part of the filming for Return of the Jedi, the location sites for, film location sites
Which was
for
marketing
Endor.
Genius. I mean, I don't know who came up with it, but that was
Well,
wonderful.
10 years ago I was folding laundry, but that's a long story. Anyways, so we are very excited to have those kind of programs. We also have a map of the movies, which we have an app for that. We're actually about to build an app that does all film experiences up here. So it covers the museum, it covers Forest Moon Festival, it covers the map of movies, which is your self-guided tour that you can go to all those locations. We still have the red carpet gala that we do annually, and we do movies in the park. So we have all of those kinds of activities that help support film tourism and what we do, and that can bring in a lot more money sometimes than the actual filming.
And we have 90 seconds left, just so you know. But you're also interfaced with the Board of Supervisors, right?
So we're funded by 6 different entities, and one of them is definitely Humboldt County. And so, we work closely with a lot of our government agencies.
So, but now, is there one agency that has more power than the others, or are they all sort of co-equal? Because you're also Del Norte, so there would be Del Norte supervisors, Humboldt supervisors.
No, I mean, we're a standalone nonprofit, and to me, we have to do what's best for the industry and the community, and I wouldn't say any one agency has a heavier hand on us. It wouldn't be appropriate. We're the specialists that understand the industry.
Real quick, we have 1 minute left. If you're going to give a pitch to a location manager who happens to be watching TV in Humboldt County, what is it?
Well, there are a couple right here right now. I would just say thank you for working with us, and being willing to come to this area that gets so excited and is so precious to all of us, and be part of basically they become family and friends, and just a thank you, if anything.
Absolutely. Like you said, it's been exciting to watch, and thank you for the work that you do.
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate it. We have 30 seconds left. Real quick, I wanted to remind people we have our debates coming up with the League of Women Voters, candidate forums. We are moved the District 1 debate or candidate forum. It's now on February 14th, Valentine's Day. District 2 will be February 7th, and District 3 will be February 12th. The forums each begin at 7 p.m., and I believe they're each 60 minutes. So, catch those. You'll be able to see all the candidates come out and scrum for your votes. And this is an important primary election coming up. But thank you, Cassandra, for joining us. And everyone get out in the theaters and watch this film when it comes out, because you'll get to see your hometown. And that's exciting. Stay tuned, stay informed.